Alright, let's cook. What's good, fam? It's your boy Dwayze on Plea. You know the name, you know the face, you know the time, and you know the place. And today we back again with a brand new react, guys. It's not looking good for young FILLY. No, it's not. So we're gonna get ourselves a young update on what's going on with his situation, where he's at right now. Well, obviously he's still stuck in Australia, but anyway, let's get into it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go.
The young FILLY situation just keeps getting worse. This guy's literally going to be stuck there until July 2026 at absolute minimum.
What?
They go on for even longer than that.
Wait, whoa. It's not even July 2025 yet. Like, what the hell?
Let me just bring you guys up to date of how this situation has played out, and we'll get into the updates today about what's going to happen going forward with young FILLY. So September 27, 2024, young FILLY performs in Bar 120 nightclub in Hillarys, a coastal suburb of Perth, Australia. But apparently a situation occurred following that performance in the club. An alleged sexual assault in Perth, a woman accuses young FILLY. She's in her 20s. She says that she was sexually assaulted by him in his hotel room after his performance at that club. Numerous fans had come out for him. Women were literally throwing themselves at him in the club, and this was moments before the disaster. This guy was in good spirits. Backstage, he was saying that he's a bit drunk when they was filming him for a TikTok, but things went horribly wrong after this, and the world was about to find out.
Should've seen the way that Bunda Acha. I waking up when nothing's a disaster.
8 charges, 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent, 3 counts of assault, occasionally body harm, and 1 count of impeding normal breathing or circulation. Prosecutors present images of the woman's injuries, and police cite CCTV footage as evidence. And it wasn't until around a week later or so that everyone found out about the situation. He was arrested, it was posted everywhere, he was in handcuffs, and young FILLY was trending on the internet.
A popular musician and YouTuber from the UK known as Young FILLY has been extradited from Queensland to WA, accused of serious sexual assault allegations following an incident in Perth.
That's right, Lara, and it's serious. He's facing 4 counts of sexual penetration without consent, 3 counts of assault occasioning bodily harm, and 1 count of impeding a person's normal breathing or circulation.
I swear Australia's the land of like fine white women.
Detectives say the 29-year-old man sexually assaulted a woman in her 20s in his Perth hotel room after he performed an event in Hillarys on Saturday, September 28.
He was extradited to Perth to face charges in relation to this incident. October 10th, young FILLY appears at Perth Magistrates Court for his initial hearing. He confirms his name, acknowledges the charges, but does not enter a plea. He's granted conditional bail, but has to pay $100,000 or £52,000. His bail conditions include remaining in Australia and reporting to the police daily, and not contacting the alleged victim, and not posting about the case on social media. And this might be a thing in Australia, but we don't often see this. They obviously know that young FILLY has a massive audience, and this could influence certain parts of it, like his fans going after the victim. It might be to protect her and maybe her identity as well, but young FILLY of course has stuck by that and not posted anything on social media throughout this situation, and a lot of his friends are saying that they're not allowed to either. The following month, young FILLY was caught speeding in a car out there as well, which obviously didn't help the situation, which led to reckless driving charge being added and his car getting impounded that he has out there. He appears in Perth Magistrates Court and pleaded guilty straight away to reckless driving charge. March 11, 2025, young FILLY appears at Perth Magistrates Court and pleads not guilty to all 8 charges related to the Perth sexual assault case. He is seen leaving court and for the first time speaks to reporters, but only to cite the lovely weather. A trial listing at this point was put forward for June 13, 2025, which we'll get into right now.
Whose real name is Andreas Felipe Valencia Barrientos. He's accused of assaulting a woman in her 20s in his hotel room after a gig at Bar 1 nightclub on September 28.
Are you guilty? But man, it's a lovely day. Are the accusations true? How are you feeling about your next court date?
Are you guilty? Yes, I am, sir. I am guilty.
The 29-year-old will face a committal hearing in June.
I thought the trial was going to be going ahead today, but apparently that's not the case. It says he pleaded not guilty to the charges in Perth Magistrates Court in March, and the matter was moved to the higher district court. It said that young FILLY has now had 2 additional rape charges added to the indictment that allegedly occurred on the same day as the other offences. He's yet to enter a plea on them charges. He's on bail with strict conditions right now after paying $100,000. A 10-day trial has been set for July 20th, next year. They haven't said anything about easing them bail conditions and letting him go home, so he's gonna be stuck in Australia for another year now. This is definitely not the news that young Philly wanted. Because
wait, I just want to understand, why can't he leave? Like, is it because he's a flight risk? I don't know, 2 years, like, that's too long, bro. That's way too long, dog. Like, what are you trying to figure out for 2 years, bro? Like, I don't understand why need it take so long. But, you know, I guess that's how the justice system works in some countries. You gotta just chill for 2 years.
World is moving on without him, whether he's guilty or not guilty. Even CHUNKZ, friend, started his own podcast now and said this is an ongoing situation. Maybe he got the news earlier that this could be a while before young Philly's gonna be back, innocent or not.
Of course, there is an ongoing situation that's happening right now, which I won't comment on. I can't comment on because of the fact it is ongoing. So I hope you guys understand that and are here to support the show, the CHUNKZ show, because that's what it's about. I'm trying to elevate this. It's a passion project for me. It's something I really enjoy doing. So I'm here to give this a shot and give it a try, and hopefully you guys can support.
We will support you, CHUNKZ. Do that.
Okay, we got the best live football and for free.
We will support you,
not just the best matches.
We will
We've
support
got top
you.
analysis and exclusive interviews.
And it's all for free on YouTube.
And it's all for free on YouTube.
CHUNKZ, of course, has got a bit of backlash, but he cannot wait forever for young Philly. Right now, it's already been over a year, and it's just been delayed another year. And CHUNKZ obviously likes doing a podcast. There's numerous ways he could make money doing other things. He didn't have to, but he's just taking a step forward. Imagine young Philly does end up going to prison as well. Regardless if he waits this out or not, people are going to say things about Philly because he had a podcast with him at one point. Now, the fact that this situation has been delayed another year is obvious why. There's 2 additional charges. I'm not sure if this woman's saying another 2 times that night that something happened, but that's the reason it's been delayed, because young Philly's have to go enter a plea again to these 2 additional charges. I
just don't understand. So you're telling me that she got sexually assaulted 3 times in the same night, only reported 1, and then added the other 2.
Delays everything. I'm not sure if this was some sort of strategy from the other side's lawyers to delay this situation for another year to prepare, but young Philly, regardless of being innocent or actually doing this situation, will be stuck in that country for another year. They better hope that they put him behind bars, because this has ruined his life for years now, and if he's innocent, this guy should be due a lot of compensation for how much this has ruined his life.
I was just about to say that, though. I was going to say, bro, if he is found innocent, like, somebody needs to compensate him, or something needs to happen where some of his life is salvaged, because his life was completely ruined by this.
Story about Benjamin Mendy being accused by numerous women. He ended up being found not guilty at the end of it all, but it ruined his career. This has kind of become a laughing stock in the UK, many people making memes out of it, but of course it's a serious situation with an actual victim, or potentially someone's life being ruined that's innocent, but we need to find out the truth in that eventual trial.
Young Philly's trial starting this month, no?
How? Why's this guy laughing?
Yo, that's mad still.
What are you thinking on that? How you feel for him? You know him?
I know about him, yeah.
Okay. I don't know him again. You don't know him again?
You know what? I played football with him back in the days, and that's it really truly, but see him in the scene and that, but when what came out about him, I was just like, raw. This is dark, bro. This is mad. It's not looking good though, man. It's not looking good still. Like, I could have haters, you can be my comments, but you can't call me that, or you can't call me this or that, bro. Everything's
that's how it has to be, bro.
You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, it has to be like that, bro. Yeah. You see when something's coming out about artists like that, most of the time is happening, bro. Like, it must be true, because why ain't it coming out as a...
Look, I can't really say that. I can't really say it must be true, because I think in this industry, especially within music, I think there's a lot of situations where sometimes, you know, feelings are hurt, emotions are involved, people are not called back the next day. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a lot of reasons as to why these situations can occur. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's true that this person did these things. I think sometimes it's, you know, women can be hurt by the way he treated her afterwards, or maybe it was consensual, and then once they got into the act, it became something different, because that can happen too. It's a very slippery slope, that one, you know. But I won't sit here and say just because somebody says, oh, this person did this to me, that it must be true. No, because we also don't know the situations of certain people, what they're going through, their agendas, their motives, right? Like, we don't know, you know? Some people are just really bad people and they're just gonna lie and put you in a situation because their feelings were hurt or they didn't get what they wanted out of the situation. These things happen too. We can't just sit here and say, nah, it's probably true, because people get accused of these things every day. It's not always true, you know? For me, it's innocent until proven guilty. Once we have all the facts and it's gone through a court process, then we can say, okay, yeah. Then we can deduce as to where we feel like, okay, he's guilty or not guilty. But for now, we can't just say it's probably true, dog.
Other artists getting called out like that, like why is that artist getting called out? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because
we all do the same thing. We all go that show there, we go there.
Judging by the news we got today that this is being delayed again, they're putting forward more charges, is probably a good thing for young Philly, because it shows that they're not optimistic right now. They can put him behind bars, definitely with what they got. It could be some good news for him, or they could just want to get another 2 charges on him to make sure.
I was looking at the reporters and I'm just thinking to myself earlier, I was like, Australia's the land of fine white women. Tell me why. Like, I've never seen any place where all the reporters who are women are like fine middle-aged white women. Like, yo, I'm going to Australia, nigga. Arrest me, Australia. I'm joking.
Sure.
No,
There's been nothing suggested about young Philly possibly returning to the UK to wait out to come next year for his trial. We know the UK and Australia have a good relationship, so it'd be really hard for him to completely avoid going back to face justice. And obviously he's pleading not guilty as well, but it just hasn't been brought up. Maybe they're not even considering letting him leave the country right now because it's such a serious offense. Guys, yesterday I uploaded another documentary video on Amy Winehouse.
Okay, well, guys, I've said my piece on it, really. At the end of the day, innocent until proven guilty. That's how I feel. And, you know, like I said, guys, these things, you have to be very careful because, like I said, these things can start off consensually. And then somewhere along the line, you start going crazy in that thing, start clapping her face. Then she's like, oh my God! You know, and then it becomes abuse now. It becomes assault. You know what I mean? You thought you were tearing that thing up. God, you were assaulting her. You know, this is gonna happen too. Guys, you need to make sure you have the consent for everything. You need to make sure, you know, she's okay with what you're doing. You know, God, you could be pulling her hair, and next day she's telling you, "Nah, he pulled my hair. That was assault." You know, so be careful with who you're taking home. Here's my advice, guys: don't take no scallywags home from the club. Don't, guys. Only be with women you know, women that you trust. Because the women of today, they can also take advantage of you. Because now it's a he said, she said situation, right? Because you could say, well, she said she wanted rough play. And then she was like, no, he was too rough. So I feel like it's assault. Who's right and wrong in that situation? You know what I mean? Because, yes, don't act like strangling ain't a thing. You know, people like that shit during sex. So, hey, man. I can't say that's odd to me that I've never heard of somebody being strangled during sex. Girls like that, bro. Well, some girls, the freaky ones, you know, they like that shit. You know, so it's tricky, bro. It's really tricky, dog. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. Guys, please be careful with these women, and women, please be careful with these guys as well. Don't just be going home with a dude because he's clouted, because you feel like he's famous, because you feel like he has motion. Next thing, he got you in these type of situations where you feel like you were vandalized. You were assaulted. You know what I mean? Why are you going home with a guy that you don't know? You don't know this man. You wouldn't go home with a random hobo you saw on the side of the street. So why are you going home with young Philly? It's the same concept. Just because one is famous and one is not doesn't change anything. You still got to be careful of who you allow into your personal space and whose personal space you go into. All right? And I think I'm just going to leave it there before I say too much. All right? Like, comment, and subscribe. Spin your boy Dwayze on Blaze. Goodbye.